Hello again, and welcome to another attempt at what I'm calling Tell Me What to Build. In a previous video, you told me what to build with parts from this set here, and only from this set, and this is what became of it. You told me to build a lot of things. Around 1,500 suggestions came in. A lot of people asked for a mech, and I made this. So I covered that in its own video, and now we've done it again. You've told me what to build with parts from another copy of this exact same set, and this time I will be building a dragon based on your recommendations. So thank you for your suggestions, and I also want to acknowledge the very large number of people who suggested that I build a spaceship. And because so many of you asked for a spaceship as well, I will finish this, and then I'll open another one of these boxes without going through another round of suggestions, and I'll build a spaceship. But for now, we're going to focus on making a very, very colorful dragon. Per your suggestions, I have gone ahead and kind of pre-sorted out the parts. Might not have done them exactly the same as last time, but it's good enough to get started. And yeah, this is it. This is where it all begins. I have no idea how large or small this thing is going to be. I fear that it will not be able to have a nice rainbow color scheme just because of the limitations of parts here, but I'll do my best with the parts that are available here to make something that looks kind of good. For starters, I'm going to have to ignore color a little bit. One thing that I'm pretty certain of also for starters is that I would like to try to use this as a hinge piece for, oh, there should be another one of these in here. Oh yeah, there it is. For legs. I mean, like, I would like to have done this, or maybe I could use that for some really, really tiny little arms. I mean, that could be done just like that. But I could also attach these and then use these to do something like this. Doesn't have a lot of friction in it though. I really would like to use this piece. You know, it would be nice to make use of it, even though it's intended to be for wheels. I would like to use these eyes for the dragon as well. And I think this is going to be a Chinese style dragon, so no wings. It'll be more serpentine and long, hopefully. Obviously, I have a bunch of these pieces. I'm not sure if I can use, or if I will use those just for the body segments, you know, to give it flexibility. That might be the best idea right there, and then try to focus on other stuff. So I'm looking at structure first here, you know, the things that are most limited, and thinking about how I want this to articulate. So I want it to have 4 legs. I want it to have a neck that can move. I want it to have some body segments, including possibly, you know, a tail or something that can move. I think these can be used for legs pretty effectively. These also can be used for legs pretty effectively. And then this is a possibility as well for something small. Maybe I could just use these for the tail, for the last segments of the tail. I'm not sure. A jaw that opens would be really good too. So that's going to be something that I need to consider. Or maybe I could do ears with these. You know what? I'm just going to do this right now because I like the idea of having these be ears. So I'm just going to start with that because why not? Just while I have the idea top of mind, I'm just going to build it. I can always take it apart in seconds if I don't like the idea later on. And probably those white pieces, I guess they're kind of visible. I'll adjust if I need to at some point. But yeah, I'm thinking using those as ears would be good. And then for the face, like I said, I want to have an openable jaw on that. And of course, I want to have the legs. And I want I want to have so many things with this. It's going to be limited. Ears are probably low priority. I don't know. Or horns, you know. What does that leave me with for this? I could do this. Oh, these are those ones that change direction too. That's a little unfortunate, but I mean, I guess I could potentially something. I don't know, those are just so thin. I don't know how useful this would be. These aren't gonna attach in there. There's not enough space unless I go down with it. Maybe that's a possibility. Going this way, I think there's enough clearance when it's flat. Worst case scenario, I can go this way. That might be what I need to do for like some shoulder joints. And that would leave those other pieces. Yeah, these joint pieces and parts that can move are just the most valuable things here that I kind of really need to conserve. I also have these that can be clipped onto. But maybe... Oh, these are going to work for whiskers! Sweet! Oh, that's really good there. The direction that I want to go is to start working on the head as quickly as possible, just because that kind of defines the personality and will give me inspiration to do the rest. I'm right now still trying to figure out what I can do for the main limbs, because I'd like to preserve these for the main body section so I can, really pose it around in different ways. But maybe one of them will be for the head, so that kind of simplifies things a little bit. Yeah, I think, let me just go ahead and do this right now, just to kind of remind myself of that from the start, and I can build from there, obviously. Put more of the head down here. I'll just go ahead and put these on for now. This is definitely going to change, but just to kind of get the idea across, and it's kind of like making it real. Yeah. See? It helps. Even though it's just a little thing, it helps. And I think I really like those ears. Yes, I really like those ears for sure. Let's see, the head is probably going to be something like that. Yeah, I mean, already you can start to see some of how this is going to look. And yeah, having at least this joint be made with those ball joints is really, really critical. Still thinking about legs though. Still thinking about legs. Is there anything else here that I can do for legs? For legs. This is a nice piece to use for a shoulder as well. Then what could I do with it? Oh, I've already used those little hand pieces. So those could have been stuck in here, but now they can't. You can attach this here, then something can clip onto that. But then what? I've got these parts that can clip onto it. It's just such a low number of clippable pieces. That's not helping me. That gives me one single axis of movement. That's not enough. It's not. Maybe this will end up having to have really, really tiny feet or really, really tiny legs at the front. See, I really don't want to use two of these for one set of limbs, but I might have to. So let's do this. Let's consider this for the moment. Oh, what I wasn't thinking of was this. Consider this for right now to be the forward limbs. At least it can go back during flight. And then it kind of keeps with my desire to use this as a hip or shoulder connection. Put these back for the moment. That leaves me with that one pair of clips and this one pair of bars. Now, I could definitely use these for at least one body segment, just to go up and down. Not all of the body segments need to twist, so this is an option here. Also, as with that previous build that I did, it's possible to Join things using that piece for a little bit of rotation, I think. You know, for a tail. And this one can do the same again. I'll just go with, I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point what I go with, but yeah, so maybe I will end up using those, a couple of those ball joints for the rear legs. Yeah, this needs to step down. But there are other possibilities for what I can do. I like the fact that this can rotate. It'd be nice to get it into a shorter assembly, something that's not as tall. But let's consider one pair of these to be for the rear legs. And I just need to figure out exactly how I'm going to do those. I still think these make for good shapes for thighs. Thighs or arm parts. So I'm just going to do that for now. And on this one, let's go ahead and consider this to be a body segment. Put the equivalent thing on the other side. And then if I could only get something to angle back from there without being too difficult. Without using pieces that are too valuable to me. So I could do this and then angle that forward. That can be considered a foot there, you know. This isn't looking particularly great, but it is an idea at least. Allows me to move on, and I can always come back, try something else. Maybe I could put it this way instead and then fill in some of that space. Could do it either way, but I think going this way makes a little bit more sense. So there, I'll try that. And if I don't like it later on, then I'll change. All right. It's interesting how, for me, and this definitely won't be for everybody, but for me, articulation and movement is so important. Look at that, it's able to stand up. Hey, I've almost got my dragon already. Look at this, I've got my rear legs, I've got some fronts, and then I've got the neck that's able to move, and I do want to have one joint in the middle, at least. And I'm going to figure out what else happens after that. It's kind of the skeletal construct so far. That does not look good. It does not look good at all. Not at all. This is definitely too much of a straight run. I mean, maybe once I get this bulked up a bit, it'll look better with its proportions, but maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'll be able to use these. Okay, so I also have these that can be used to move something. So these will be used for initially a tail section. So we put a shorter tail segment in here. And then another one. This is actually going to go underneath this time, which will then convert to one of these. Use the gray one. And then from there, I'll let it rotate. I also need to think about how I'm going to do those whiskers at the front. I guess, I mean, I could have used one of these for the jaw. Now that I think about it, let me try that. Let me steal one of these for the jaw. Might be important, because I like that idea. And what do I have that's a little more special? Yeah, that's really important to me. I'm gonna just, for the moment, where's my other white? I know I have at least one more of these. Where did I put the other ones? Is it attached under here? Nope. Just for a tooth, you know? Seems important. Well, maybe it's not crucial, but here's the... Oh, there it is. I see it. But first I'm gonna get this red one out. There. And I could do one from the top, or I could do both from the top. Let's see how that looks. Because this is looking too much like a hippo nose. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. But let me see what they look like from the top instead. Or does that look even more like a hippo? It looks like a bucktooth dragon. Yeah, I like him from underneath better. But we'll see how that all works out. Forgot that these were also available to use to create joints. I'm thinking about these now and how I could create a joint like this. That's pretty good there. It's pretty useful. I have to keep it in mind, but for right now I'm going to keep these apart. Because I don't like that. As much as I wanted to use those pieces, I don't think I like that. Alright. What else can I work on at this time? This is a must. These ears have to stay. I'm going to take those teeth out just because they look a little bit too silly right now. And let me get a couple of these parts to see about. I don't know how I'm going to set up the whiskers though. Because ideally they would have been like here from the sides. I guess if this could be set up just a little bit longer, unfortunately I kind of have to choose between length of 4 and length of 6 for the head. But perhaps if I combine a couple things together, I just need one more stud to fit this on, unless I swap this out. I kind of like that shape there, but that kind of looks like a snout. But perhaps I need to I like them facing towards the front too, the holes. It's a little bit of a toss-up. Now if I had the pieces that had the studs on 2 adjacent sides, that would be ideal. Then I could put the whiskers off to the side, and I could have the holes in the front to represent the actual opening of the nose. Because I would like to have the open holes like that. I think these whiskers are going to have to be an abandoned idea. Because I really like the idea of the whiskers. I really do. How else could I attach that? Now, if I moved this forward, I brought it down one, then use this after all, and then to connect between those two, this would have to be brought up more. It'd have to either be up or down. Because see, I have these parts that can be used to make a connection. It goes up one. Actually, it goes up two plates. But that's not a good look. Although, if I made the mouth larger. This is going in a very bad direction right now. Take this off. Move this back. Increase the size of the jaw. It's possible. It's possible. It's a maybe. It's a definite maybe, although kind of looks like he's got a lazy tongue that's sticking out. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Do I have another color of this? Could this have been used instead? Maybe this is the answer here. That gives me these at the front, and then I could possibly hang the brackets off the sides. Experimentation, experimentation, just trying stuff. So the idea that I had here was to use this for the nose holes, and then hang these two orange bracket pieces off the sides to create the connections for the whiskers. And then possibly these could partly overlap. Going back like that, or could go from here and then use those tiles, the little quarter round tiles, to provide a little bit of shape. See, this is a possibility. I'm kind of being stubborn about those whiskers, but I like them, so this moves me in the direction that I needed. And then I just need to put something there in between. I'm not going to fill that up just yet because I'm very limited in this department with the plates. But yeah, I think this is a good possibility. All right. Mouth is not great, but hey, I got eyes, I got whiskers. Bring those down to make sure you can see the eyes from the side. Yeah. And obviously that'll need something underneath for support, but got the nostrils. Starts to look a little bit dog-like. I'm thinking I might need to move these forward. This is silly to spend this much time on such trivial things, but it has to be done at some point, so it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. We'll try it. And then I'm going to move back to working on legs again, especially those front ones that continue to bother me significantly. That's not a good thing. I need to feel good about my creation, or as good as I reasonably can, given the circumstances, given the constraints. You know, I took one joint out here, so that's not an option anymore. And I do want to have something for tail, and this is only one here. I don't even have anything else that could clip onto it. I mean, I've got one of these. Oh yeah, I had these two as well. Those can kind of work in a similar way. But to what effect? How? Like, what would they do? What would be the point of these? Ah! I just saw it. That's better. Doing that. Look at that. At least it's better in terms of articulation. What if these became feet? Oh, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. I want something better than this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Interesting options for making things move, but really, 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 really don't like it. Maybe I should make the stronger joints up at the front. You know, move these up to the front. Have smaller rear legs. Just because it's a lot more visible up at the front. And these would always be kind of trimmed up, folded up at the back. Let me just try that. See what that looks like. See how it feels. And of course I need to rotate the shoulders. Might make more sense to have the larger limbs at the front. I'm pretty certain this is not gonna look as good as the mech did. I'm pretty certain. Eventually I'll start getting some thickness into that body, but not just yet. Maybe I should use one of these for each of the major segments, and then that's going to help define the size of the whole beast. Put this one here. This is a temporary stand-in. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get nearly what I want out of this. What am I going to do for those rear legs? If I could just get this to rotate on one single axis. But I still need something else to come out from it. I mean, technically, you know, I could just do that for rear legs. This is the upper leg, lower leg, and then here's the ankle and the foot. But I would really like to be able to angle it out just on one axis. And what could I do for that? Keeping in mind that I have these pieces still. This really isn't going to help with that problem. But if this could be used as a connection point to give me something that allows it to be angled. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. I don't know what this is. Is this something? Or is it not? That combined with this. Going over to one of these. That is one way to get an angle on the axis that I wanted, but it's complicated. It's ugly. It's kind of all bad. Now if I just had these angling forward. If these were separated out enough, then I can get that kind of rotation from a couple of these. See, then they can be turned, and then from there something could be on the side and rotate in and out. I don't know, maybe there's something here. Could that be the whole leg assembly? I mean, at least it can splay in and out. It's not great. It'd be better if it was like that, but I just don't have the availability. Maybe stick it into the hole, the tube section. Maybe. So that's how that works out. You know? Certainly better than this. This is the worst. I don't know who came up with that idea. It's terrible. Terrible. Some of these pieces are starting to get away from me. I guess I'll call that an extra special part still. Should I use the wheels? That's another question. I can. There's no rule against it. I'm not going to give myself a rule against it. This... Yeah, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. I think I can live with that. It's difficult to work with. It's difficult to pose. Parts kind of want to come apart anytime you move them. But I can live with it. And maybe if I don't need them to really rotate in and out, then I could connect to the pieces on the undersides. But for now, I'm going to keep that. Just like that. Yeah. Yep. All right. I'm really interested in creating some additional bulk for the main body right this moment. Maybe these pieces will end up being used just for the tips of the tail. So I can add width in this segment. As this is designed, can't really add width there, but I don't need to use these medium blue pieces. That was just an idea. They could be repurposed. They could be placed in some different ways. I can get a lot of thickness out of this, but ideally, oh yeah. So I don't want to go too far in the kind of humpback direction. This should start from a certain amount of thickness up the shoulders. This should be the thickest section right here. Ideally, I would like to have a little bit of overhang on the sides. So rather than staying with the 2 stud wide build down the center there, it would be nice to open that up just a little bit, to broaden it up. These might actually be the answer right here. Although I could also use them in the narrower section to give that some shape. I guess I could use these on the sides. I think I just sold myself on that idea. Yep. I did. So I've got 2 blues, 2 grays. It'd be nice to use up these parts, but I don't know if I have room. I'm going to try it just because I really, really, really would like to use these up, because I don't think I'm going to have another good opportunity to do so. The 1 by 2 by 1 2/3 modified bricks with studs on side, 4 studs on one side. There's a lot of thickness there, but I can always bring this up, raise the body, excuse me, raise the neck. Just kind of raises the spine of the whole thing. And then filling up this space in here is a question mark. Maybe that will allow me to use some of these undesirable parts. Probably needs to be a little bit higher than that. Just a little bit. Yes, I know you are connected in a very poor way. Let me fix that, at least temporarily. Snap that on. I'll just put one on for now. Let's see, pink or yellow? I'm thinking pink, just because it's going to be really buried in there. I could go all the way at the front. What else do I have? I've got... Yeah, those aren't going to help that much. I mean, this has 2 studs on top, but I would prefer to have more than that. I don't want to use up too many of my very valuable plate pieces, but I kind of already have used up a lot of them, haven't I? Something like that. It's just so much width, so much space in here. Because these kind of look like winglet flares. I don't know. Feeling like I'm running out of parts real quick. So it's not a bad shape there, again, given the limitations. It's not terrible. Feels like it brings in a little bit of useful anatomy as viewed from the side. And then, you know, maybe I should stick... Oh, no. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this under there instead of that pink piece. Yeah. Or I can put it under there in addition to the pink piece. And I can link the two together, so this is actually going to provide a little bit more strength that I need for attaching that top purple part. I'm going to move this plate forward. It's going to go in between the two, and then this will be nicely clamped between them. Wait, how did this get so tall suddenly? Well, it doesn't matter, because I have things like this. Hey, hey! Now that I say that, I think I will reverse the two. Or now that I do that. Nope, can't do that, because this point is higher. Where these 1x2 by 1 2/3 parts are. I would like to use these, but maybe this is where I just use 2 of the same. Yeah, I can live with that. I think I can live with that. Unless I have something else that will work even better. And can this help to kind of smooth the transition, maybe? I also have the white round pieces, but I don't think those are the answer. Those will fit over these, but that gets complicated getting that all connected in. I don't know if those are really going to be feasible. Now this can be a good little saddle area where a figure could ride this. So this one's going to get the female hairpiece. Oh boy, that really does not stay connected very well, at least not yet. But, you know, the rider could be up there. Not the worst idea, and then I could maybe put something in her hands for control, use some of those other smaller pieces. I think this is kind of generally going in an okay direction. Would these be useful here? Maybe. I think that might fill up that space decently. Not the color scheme that I was thinking of, but I feel like that gives it, that kind of gives it brows, you know, like eyebrows. So that's not a bad idea. I'll probably change out the color of that tan plate at some point. But until I do, let's keep moving backwards here. And I might put something under there to give these inner shoulder joints a little bit more strength at some point. Might just put one 1x2, like one of these, or perhaps even one of these 2x2 corner plate pieces. But I'd like to put something in that spot right there, and I know exactly what it will be. Well, it's not the color I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. This will help hold these parts on, because I'll have an additional contact point. Reduce the possibilities of posing just a little bit, but I think it's an okay compromise. Get a little bit of smoothness towards that next segment. And then that segment, although this could also be just a brick. It's possible. And then it doesn't smooth down quite as far, because this may be going a little bit too far. Prevents me from adding the length that I want, or the thickness that I want, to the next body segment. So if I do this and then start the next segment relatively tall. Now I do want to think about using these rounded parts along the sides to give it a little more appearance of thickness, but now I'm losing even more of my potential articulation. But I don't know, I feel like I want that extra bit of thickness there. So fortunately right now I am still maintaining the ability to ignore color. Or perhaps I should actually bring these out to the edges, and then I can fill that in. Pretty soon I'm going to be at a point where I can start thinking about moving pieces around for the sake of color, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to do much. That also makes for a good little saddle, little control section design. But I could also just fill it up or cover it even. I wish I had something a little bit smaller, but I think I'm just going to have to do that. Now, I could also put this chair in there for the operator. And I could also, yeah, I think that's about right. Still have those two studs right there at the front where I can connect something to represent controls. I mean, like even at least these, you know, those can be the reins. And then you rotate the hands and it looks better, I think. Let's see, should I go out or in? I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, it's not the best, but I think it's okay. I have only one lever piece remaining, otherwise I'd use those. A little bit more spindly, a little bit more like lines, like, you know, leather strappings. Okay. This is starting to get some shape that makes some sense. Now, do I want to do something like this and fill in this spot here? I think I kind of like that. I like that little bit of extra thickness. I like that this has some shape as viewed from the top as well. And I like being able to use more of my pieces, although I could keep these back, you know, use these more for the tail. I've got a couple of them, and I have a couple of these shorter ones, the 2x3. That's not a bad look either. This would have to go. That can be accommodated. It'd be a shame to not utilize these orange parts though the exact way they're being used right now, because they really provide a lot of extra strength to hold these large side assemblies on the main rib cage. I'm also not sure about the pink. I could swap that out. Hey, I'm starting to think about color. I could swap that out for yellow, or I could go with the red in that spot. Might give a little bit more continuity. The light yellow could be seen as an extension from here. I don't know. I'm liking this. Liking some of this shaping. Now I could bring the red all the way to here. That's interesting. So let's try that. Let's bring the red all the way through in place of the pink. Which is going to include taking that out. There's that. There's that. And then, so the nice thing about this is that it covers up that center area completely. I could also bring it back one more or even two more. And then, no, see, that's not what I want to do. Give me something else. I don't know. I don't think I like how flat that is. I think I want this slope to start farther forward. So when it was here, possibly even farther forward than that. I think that's as far back as I could possibly let it go, but I think this is even better still. Yep, I like that better. I like that shape better. And it's too bad that this is not going to be able to angle up, but I really like the thickness of the body. That has become important to me. Alright, is there anything else I can do to connect these pieces a little bit better? I mean, this is still an option. I just have to put something under there. Got blue, I've got orange. I can do orange. Also have gray as an option. Need something under here. Alright, so that would go like this, and then I'd need to smooth that out just a little bit towards the rear. I think I'm about to just fix this problem right now. At least temporarily. Now I have these green parts. I don't know. Do I need to keep these available? I feel like these might be more valuable than these, so I will use these for now. And then these are spares, so that'll be on one side, and maybe this will be on the other. Good enough. All right. So I want to do blue here. Get in there. Well, 1x1s aren't completely straight. See, just smooths that back a little bit better. It kind of looks like it has a humpback, but I have some tiles. Nope, can't put anything in that spot with the chair in place. And I kind of like having the chair, but it's not necessary. This could also be used as a backrest. But yeah, it just kind of looks like it has a little bit of a humpback. It's not all that bad. I think I can live with this for now. What else am I going to do back here? Ideally, there will be some fill inside of there, and that would be done with these two pieces right here. Or I could also use these orange ones. I think those have, yeah, those, I can use these orange. Could have done that there as well. Well, let's make that happen. It's too bad the set of this size does not come with any part remover. So I'll just use another plate, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Get it stuck, get it unstuck. The great brick separators. Yep, that's better. Therefore, I will certainly be using these gray pieces inside of these green ones just to fill up that space a little bit so I don't see that it's hollow from the top, right? Because the hollow stuff was not a good look. Now, I also have these inverted round tiles that can be used, oh boy, everything's falling apart now, that can be used to connect things on the underside. That may become pretty important soon. So here's how it looks right now. It's kind of coming together. Definitely not happy about how kind of weak the legs are in terms of appearance. But I think the compromises I've made may be important. Now that I say that, I think I'm going to bring the shoulders up. Reverse what I just did minutes ago. Bring the shoulders up just a little bit higher because they're definitely too far down towards the base of the rib cage, the front of the rib cage. So that's just one single stud up, but it's better than nothing. And do I want to bring them forward possibly? Like this to create a smoother appearance to the trunk. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, but what happens when I bring it back one again? I think it works either way. I'm going to leave it here for now. And it looks like I may not end up with enough pieces to bulk up the legs, the front lower legs after all. I guess this is just going to stay now. Although I may actually end up needing to use those instead for the attachment for the legs. I'm going to leave one of these off for the moment. Tail, 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 tail. What to do about that tail? Once again, not a lot of good uses for these or the steering wheel. I mean, I guess I could put a steering wheel on this instead. Put the jumper piece here, use just one of these flashlight style parts, and then stick the steering wheel onto that so you could drive it that way. It's kind of a fanciful way of looking at it. I could also just put the headlight brick there instead. Again, attach the steering wheel to it because the steering wheel just has a stud in addition to a bar, or anti-stud in addition to a bar. I also still have these to think about. And those, just realized, can be used in that kind of way. they stick out too much. They stick out too much. So for the tail then, maybe? For the tip. The very tip of the tail. Or it could have a forked tail. How about that? Because I really want to use these parts. It would be such a shame not to. So what if at the end, this has a forked tail? You know, just done with a couple of these, or even if at that point, no. Well, it's not quite as bad as I thought it might be. I don't know how I would attach to this. Oh, well, I can always just... No. Actually, that is the issue there. It's not such a great thing. Such a shame that this is not going to work for legs. Yeah, these don't work as feet. There's no way. I'm really struggling with that. Just mentally, the idea of leaving the rear legs like that, they're not that bad. But they're not that great. I wish I could have done better. All right, what else can I do for the tail then? I mean, this is most likely going to be used for this segment as originally planned, or as earlier planned. And maybe this will go in a different... You have to take one off or straighten those out. Oh, hopefully I don't have to straighten them out. I might have to bring that down by one because of this right here, this interference. There we go. That will allow me to still move those, still rotate them. Okay, that's looking a little bit better now to me. And then this can be attached end to end by bringing in some additional mass at this point. And if I want to put something right there, I can. Like I can do this. Just to smooth that a little bit up. And then I can go end to end here. I could go with purple again, which is not bad. Or I could go with yellow and make it a little bit smaller, which actually doesn't look as good to me. Makes it feel like the tail needs to come to an end sooner. This is another thing that I could do to create a forked tail back here. Simpler, but a possibility. Too bad I don't have another another hinge that I could use to move this up and down. Unless I put the other super piece on that. You know, you can attach something to this. But what? And this would have to have the jumper on it. It'd be like that. That's not a good look. Not at all. Could this have been used elsewhere? Like in there. I mean, I still could do that. I just need to move the chair up by one plate with anything in there. You know, just to use the piece. I'm not going for a maximal use of the parts here, though. I'm prioritizing making something that looks somewhat decent. These can also be used to either add a little extra thickness, maybe out towards the end, or to create, again, a forked or a fan style tail. That's not a bad idea. Eh. Get a little extra length on it that way. Yeah. It's not a bad direction. But I just don't have anything else that will really attach to that, do I? Just extending out the length. Anything else bar sized? I'm using up both of those. This is able to go in. Nope. Well, I mean, it can kind of wedge in, but it's not great. Also attach to this, which means it could attach this way, or it could attach this way. It accomplishes what's desired. It's not the most elegant thing, but it's interesting in a way. If I could figure out a way to smooth that in a little bit. If only I had use of a cheese slope piece. I just don't have any in this set. Let's create a little bit more thickness for that. And this can be attached any kind of way. It can go on the end, I can go on the side if I want. Most likely it'll be at the end, but we'll see how that works out, just to get a little extra flair at the end. I could potentially even move this leg connection all the way to the rearmost segment. I guess I could lengthen out this center segment now, if I want to. That allowed this one to be longer. I don't think I want to do that though. Kind of like the length of the main body. I mean, as an Asian dragon, it could potentially be even longer. Sometimes you just have to try. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad. It's not a bad length, as long as I could increase the length. But now, there's so much weight in the middle. I guess once I add more length out here with the tail, that'll help to counter the weightiness in the center. You know, this has more of that extra length of like a Lady Rainicorn type of construct. This under here, not the greatest at all. I do have one more of these. I could just continue the red down the center a little bit. As viewed from the side. Swap in one of these. Use these just for the connections. I don't like how flat it's becoming in this area. And then I do, or if I did this, I would want the legs up a bit higher. So I'll see if I can push those right through. Can I push? No, I can't push them through because I need the height. I need them to be as low as they are in order to be able to turn from side to side. So now they can't turn. Unless I extend these. No, it's just getting too complicated. Yeah, so those have to be down at the lower option, because I really want to be able to at least turn those. If I'm not going to get anything else out of it, I'm going to get something. Way too far, way too far. I mean, I hate how stiff this is becoming, though. Yeah, that's kind of pointless. They had that much length just for the heck of it. Yeah, this is good here. This is good, but that's just way too much length. I'll go this way with it. Would be nice if I had. Would have been nice if I had another part that I could use there instead. So I think what I'm going to have to do is cheat this out just a little bit. And then find something else to put in there. Of course, I can use this now as one piece of fill, but then I need something 2 plates high to fit in above this. And this just continues to be a bit of a pain. So let me see about addressing that right now. I'm just going to use a couple spare parts, extra parts, you know, unofficial parts that are also included in the set. Now, if I had one more jumper, I could also do it with just a jumper instead. Now, potentially I could use this, go up the center with just the tile if I really needed to, but I don't think I need to right now. I'm just going to do that for the moment. Stop this problem from occurring temporarily, and then this is where I was at with it. You can also use these instead. Come on, legs. I would have thought a rainbow colored or random colored dragon would have been easier to make than a mech. But so far, maybe it's about as easy, but it's not looking as good, that's for sure. At least to my eyes. I like that center joint there. Don't like the lack of one here. Maybe a sacrifice is in order. Turn the neck into just a single axis joint, because I really would like to have that extra bit of flexibility there. I don't know if this for the head is as important. Being able to go side to side sure is nice, though. Can't give it up here. Not going to give it up there. Well, actually, there we go. That's what I'll do. I'll put this joint pair here instead. So this is only going to go up and down. Yeah, and then I'll allow this to turn around. I think that's a better idea. All right. It's a reasonable sacrifice. It's not really a sacrifice. It's just a direct swap at that point. Which is a much better idea. And then perhaps if this went underneath instead, then I could bring out the length here. See how this works. You know, make it a little bit more smooth. Where's the rest of the stuff that I was doing? Oh yeah. So I'll go from red to red, blue over here. Now there's going to be that gap unless I go up one using this blue, or I could also put red there as well. Like so. And that is going to be a point of stress now, so I will actually just put a blue 2x2 in that space. There we go. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to thicken this up, so I'll just clamp that in place. And then use one of these inverted tiles now to clamp the other spot in place. So now I don't have to worry about it sagging in the center, but it is still able to articulate when I pick it up. And then the rear segment, you know what? That rear segment is going to have to get a little bit of compromise. I'm gonna have to have a little bit of gap in there because I want to be able to turn it. Now that I've placed that there, I want to be able to turn it side to side. So I need some gap to allow that to happen. Like that. I can also come up and down. Yep. It'd still be nice to use one of these at some point. Could that be right there? We'll go in front of it. This is too much now to go up. I feel like that's just creating too much of a hump in a weird place. So, I guess I could go the opposite way. Have the yellows go together. And then this was here. Is that so terrible? I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad. This needs to be clamped in for the sake of stability and to also add a little bit of thickness here with the help of one of these. And it'd be really nice to have something inside of there as well to fill up that space a bit. Are these going to be useful to me? Is a question. There's a possible answer. I'll use another one of these right now. That allows me to rotate something. A little bit at least. Not a lot, but somewhat. Although this could rotate anyway, this little assembly. How does that look? Let's make a little space for things here. As a whole thing, I'm not happy with this tail thing. It's just an attempt to use more of the parts. The whole tail setup is, and I don't think it's a great attempt. Can I use any part of that though? Connect to what though? Still gonna need to stick up. Yeah, I'm just running out of pieces. Doesn't let me do what I want to do. Still have one of these. Put that back in the wrong place temporarily, but I don't think it's really going to matter that much, you know. If I put this here, it just sticks up, and that's just ugly to me. I like the idea of having a fantail, but that's not how to do it. That's for sure. I would like to be able to have one last little bit of movement at the back as well. Not so happy with this. That's too bad. Will this work for his head? Or will that detract? I don't know. Could be seen as good, could be seen as bad. I don't want to put a red piece there because then it'll kind of confuse things with the... now that I say that, maybe it won't. I was thinking it would confuse things with the mouth, but now it kind of makes it look like he has just a red-based head, he or she. It has a red-colored head as its base color, and then I could also swap out that tan piece for a red one. And I'll go ahead and do that. All right. Unexpected. But I'll allow these tan parts to synergize back here at the rear. There we go. Then perhaps I can even try this. A little reversal. Creates a little color change in the jaw. And those teeth that I have been holding on to look a little bit better. These could also be used as teeth potentially instead. But that's not bad right there. I might just stick with that. These could also have been used as ears. Look at that. But I do like these ears still. Gotta bring them up. Yeah, this is not working for me. So I guess I could take a bunch of this stuff off. Just attach that, just plop that down right there, but it's not going to fit. I would have to go from the underside. And if I had any long, one stud wide plates, I would use them out here. I mean, this is the closest I have. I guess that helps a little bit with my idea. Is there any room to rotate these upwards at this point? It doesn't look like it. And that's all the way out. So yeah, not really any room for it. Kind of cheated in there just a little bit. That's not bad. Got some of my fantail idea in it. It's not as good as I would have liked, but it's practical. It doesn't look as bad as many of the other options, and from the side the profile isn't as bad as it could have been. Shame to not use this stuff. Really, really a shame. But what would I use that for? If it was the other type of droid arm that doesn't rotate the clip 90 degrees, then it would have been a lot more useful to me. But as it is, it's really not. Now, I could still turn that piece around and use this in the center and have a kind of a 3-prong tail. I guess that's not a terrible idea. See how that looks. Take that off, rotate this around. This would go right here. It's something. That might be silly. A little bit too silly, yeah. Or, instead of all this, just use the one. Oh, you can't. There. No. Do it here. Just to create a little bit of feathering effect. I don't know. That doesn't look that great, to be honest. And I really don't like the black used there. And try to get the orange in instead. Maybe, let's see, this tan had to go there, or I want to put the tan there. Oh, this is also an option. This could be used instead. Okay, well, let's try some of that then, some of that swapping around. Put a grill piece there. It's really too bad about these front legs too. They're not holding up very well. It's okay for just posing on display, but as soon as you start moving the thing around, these keep wanting to come apart. And the idea was that I would put this here. And it just allows me to have an orange piece at the back instead. So I have one little section of orange on each segment. Not all that bad. Are we getting there? I think this is about all I can do. Finally got to a point where I'm not feeling terrible about the thing. That wants to be used yet, but I don't see a good opportunity to use it. I mean, certainly these, I can just put this on the underside of this. I've got a couple of these gray parts, gray, we've got 3 of them. Can be used back here, they can be used here. Yeah, I think that's good on the side. I have one more of these. Consider that to be analogous to that part there, just from an anatomical texture standpoint. Don't think I would have had any use for those. That hasn't been explored. I don't think this could have created anything else shape-wise that would have really helped. Yeah, not really. Gives a little extra thickness there. Helps with a small issue I had in that spot. That's not bad. Maybe if I turn that backwards as well. And then I also see that I still have this hollow space inside of here, so I can fill that up with any color I want, just about. So I choose the yellow. Well, any color as long as it's one of these. I could also do red, I guess. Red's probably a good idea, although I could also use the azure right there. See how that looks. Yeah, I'll just use that. The azure. Now that's much more solid. Good. And And what else? Not entirely happy with this, just how tall that is. I don't know what else I could do about it. Put this underneath? No. Put this under there. See what that does. Could that give me an interesting shape there? Or could this actually give... Oh, I see a good place to use this. Thicken up those rear hips. So where I've got this little cheater arrangement going, get these separated. Do a red here. It's going to be clamped together, so I can go red on either side. Just make it look a little bit closer from both sides. Put that there. Yes. That's an improvement. A definite improvement. Now, if I wanted to, I could also do the purple there, or I can do the purple here. Nope, because this needs to be kind of smooth as it is. I've got the blues. I'm just looking for opportunities to make that a little bit less jarring with that upper yellow part. It feels like it's a little bit too much to me. So maybe I can just do the taper right there. Just shape-wise, that's better to me. I really wasn't happy with how much a full brick stuck up. It would be better if... Yeah, maybe it would be better to do that. For the sake of the shaping. Finally use these. Very mechanical things that do not belong on this dragon. Yep, it's also lighter in color with just the white. So that helps that shape for sure. Yep, I feel better about that. And I'm still running ever lower on ideas. I think I'm coming near the end. I feel it. Should I have used this here? Doesn't look like it would work. Nope. Should I use it here? Maybe even above. Just with a single stud connection? Maybe. Strengthen the appearance of the shoulders a little bit, bulk them up. It reduces articulation, so I can't move out as much, but forward and back is jeez, forward and back is the most important thing. So I just kept these rotated down. I think that's a good compromise. Might be a little bit distracting. Here instead. Meh. This is what I have left. I was eating an apple. Thrusters? No. Seeing if there's any spot where that looks good. Oh, maybe even here. Almost looks like he has a hat. What if I leave just the gray part? It's okay. Still almost looks like a cat with a pancake draped over its head. Not necessarily nice. Oh, that won't fit in there. Yeah. I could also just leave off the black part, but I think that's it. I think that's my dragon. It feels... I feel disappointment as I look at this. Here, let me clear some stuff off. I don't know. Am I being too hard on myself? Maybe this isn't that bad. Again, given the constraints. I mean, the colors, of course, are going to be crazy. But at least the overall shaping that I was really focused on is kind of where my mind wanted things to be from the start. So I guess I kind of succeeded at the things that I worked on the most here. And he also is able to eat an apple. You know, just the mobility of the joints and where the joints are, the overall proportions are kind of how I wanted them to be. Yeah, not bad. I was kind of thinking a little bit more than subconsciously about the green mech dragon from the Ninjago movie, just in terms of its proportions overall. That's kind of what I started thinking of once I decided to go with the smaller legs at the rear, the simpler ones, and that helped things to make a little bit more sense. Some of the Ninjago dragons have proportions kind of like this. Originally, I was thinking of something a little bit longer and lankier, but this, I think, is a better use of the pieces. It would have been easy to get really, really skinny and long by using those purple plate pieces, the 2x8s. I'm glad that I didn't, actually. And looking at this, as far as where I put what colors of pieces that were available, I think I did okay. Would I change anything out? Not seeing too much that I would. Maybe flip the red and the yellow between these. That might help things a little bit, since I moved the joint on that side. That might help a bit, but yeah, I think it's not all that bad. The head is good though. At least that came out well. I was able to use the apple piece. I should get extra credit for that. For actually being able to incorporate it into the build. Yeah, posability is okay, shaping is okay, durability is poor with the legs, but overall, I created a dragon with the pieces that you told me to build from. So let me know what you think about this. Like I said, I am going to next in this series build a spaceship with the same pieces, you know, the same constraints of parts, based on your significant feedback to build a dragon and to build a spaceship. So you can stay tuned for that. That will be coming up in not too long. I've got some other stuff on the way as well, some more work on the city. But for now, you told me what to build. You told me to build a dragon, and I built a dragon. Let me know what you think about it. Thanks for your time. I'll talk to you again soon.